Your work has the light of inner vision and deep compassion for the human condition. It is beautiful, touched by sorrow. I wanted to tell you how much your art affected me, how much I felt, how my insides cried at this world, but I was too moved to speak. Thank you, so incredibly powerful. Your work is excellent, very deep and touching. I commend you for your strength and courage for human rights. You've let women all over the world know that we can overcome anything. Some of the most impressive work I have ever seen. The work is both beautiful and harrowing. I'd like to introduce Mehri Dadgar,
Yes.
the artist we're speaking of. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Quite an exhibition you just put on at Long Beach State. Did it go well like you had hoped?
Yeah, it was a very successful show. I really enjoyed the whole environment. The gallery was really, it's really big, and I could present my art the way I wanted, and the faculty members and all the visitors that came to see the show were really supporting, and it was a successful show.
Now, how long have you been attending Long Beach State?
Oh, it's my first semester, actually. I've been there for 2 months only.
In Search of Unification. How'd you come up with that title for your exhibit?
That title, actually, I came with that last year when I had a show in California State University of Northridge. I wanted to bring all my background and my present life, and also all my skills in painting and drawing and all the different aspects of culture from Iran and here all together. And I thought, like, for myself, for my being was kind of departed and separated from my culture, being here and living here. So it was part of that was about my own life. Part of that was about my background and my understanding of art, miniature art of Iran, and the modern Western art and new language of art. And also another part of that was because I was looking and searching for meaning to answer the question of life that I have myself. So
you were born in Iran?
Yeah, I born and raised in Iran.
And you started taking an interest of art at a very young age?
Yes, when I was 12 years old, I started to draw as I saw my older brother once.
Your brother was very influential.
He was doing his homework, and I saw him doing a beautiful image, and it was like, what is it? That was the first time I saw a painting, and that made me kind of interested to do art.
So you started doing art in school?
Yes, I did. Actually, at that time, we didn't really have art teachers or specific art programs.
School's a lot different in Iran.
At that time, yes. Now, they're much better now, and I can say they are compatible to schools here in some ways. And the time that I was going to school, it was like art teacher was like usually out of, like they were only teachers who didn't really care or didn't work hard, so they put them in art project or art classes. But I did a lot of drawings for my classmates, so that made the art class interesting for me because I was contributing to my friends.
So they all knew that you were pretty talented?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was the reason they came to me, and they gave me their papers to draw and paint for them, so that was it, yeah.
So you're in school, you're learning art and such, and at what age did you start getting a little political?
Well, it was actually before the revolution of Iran. It was like 2 years before.
The Shah was in power?
Shah was in power, and 2 years before that, it was very common that people, usually young people, students, they started to get involved, and we started to have small meetings here and there and talk about politics. And read books and magazines and discussions.
But no one
and
else in your family was political.
Nobody. It was, yeah, I was the first
Did your
one.
family try to push you down in those beliefs, or did?
Well, in some ways, my mother, she had experience regarding previous movements in Iran, and she knew that like any kind of movement takes you in trouble. And sometimes she told me, "Don't do this." But we were young, and we wanted to experience ourselves in one way. We want to hit our head to the stone and then feel the pain ourselves to believe
So
it.
you had a group that you were with, and you were handing out literature, information to people on the street and such.
Yeah, after the revolution that happened, yeah, it was about a year and a half after the revolution. I was working with a group that they were active, and they become a very strong opposition of the current regime. So at the time, yeah, I was passing pamphlets and selling newspaper critical to the regime. So that was the
And
reason.
by then you were teaching, yes?
I was a teacher, yeah. When I was 18, I became a teacher.
Wow, at such a
elementary
young
school
age.
teacher, yeah.
And so you're teaching, you're doing this, and then one day you were arrested.
Yeah, exactly. I was most of the time after school, I was doing voluntary work to just spend my time because we expected a lot from revolution. We expected freedom. We expected better life for everybody.
And it didn't get any better.
And we didn't see any changes unless we saw backwards steps. So we started to object the government, and we wanted to be involved. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's, it became so much trouble because none of the parties had experience. The government was new, the opposition was new, and all of us were experiencing something that we didn't have enough information because of the government, Shah government. We didn't have political freedom at the time, so we couldn't really get information that we needed for a revolution. We didn't know what we want. We didn't know how a good government would be in a new set, you know. So everybody was kind of unexperienced, and that caused a lot of problem later.